Hi, this is Dwayne Palka of Pal Katoonz. This is another PalkArt demonstration, and would like to talk about overlays, cells, and text. So, in doing so, in talking about these, this is the final picture that we want to create. But let's turn off all the pictures for the time being. And what we want to do is we want to go down to, in the rightmost window here, at the bottom there is a button called Cell. And I'm going to click on Cell. Now there's another button. It opens up a whole set of buttons now once you've clicked that. And another button we want to work with is Input Cell. Now what Input Cell does, it allows you to input either JPEG files or PNG files, but it treats them differently as it's doing it. Any other pictures that you're going to have in the memory are going to be beneath this thing called a cell. So if you input a PNG file, it's going to have areas that are transparent in it, and those transparent areas will show the pictures underneath it to be showed through the picture. So one thing I want to input here is this is a picture we made before in a previous demonstration, and that picture shows all these Heidi's. It was a PNG file, and we brought it in, and all these white areas are transparent. So I'm going to go and put a picture behind that. So I put a picture of again our boat on the sea behind these pictures of Heidi. Now what I could do is I could do save JPEG, and if I save JPEG or even save PNG for that matter, it's going to include what you see here. It's going to include the picture in the back as well as the picture in front. But since I've already done that, I'm just going to turn off the show cell here and shift to the next picture. Okay. So this is now the JPEG picture that I made in a previous occasion and brought it in. And I'm going to show another aspect of cell. Now the notion of cell comes from animation, and it's a matter of making transparencies and doing drawings, transferring your drawings to transparencies as closed shapes, and then you can ink in those closed shapes in the on the cell and put them on top of other cells and on top of a background to make a frame of animation. So I'm going to input a cell here, it takes everything that's white and makes them transparent. So if you just are interested as an animator, for instance, and just taking your drawings and making those into transparencies, then you can input it into this program as a cell, and then you save them off as PNGs, and that's what you'll get. See, if I go and if I show the picture, then you can't even see the cell anymore. But the cell was a drawn cell, and it has the one shape, the one, and underlined under the one are solid shapes. Everything else is just to distract. So it has nothing to do with this particular aspect of what we're trying to do with the cell. So the next thing I want to do is I want to click on Trace Shapes, and that's going to go through the entire cell and see if there's any bounded shapes that are within there, and it'll make them into a shape. So I'm going to do Trace Shapes. This takes a little while. Okay. One thing is that when it made the shape, it didn't have it had used picked image, so I have to turn that off. Let me just select that shape. It made a shape, and the shape is in a group here, and I'm going to go select that group, and then I'm going to turn use picked image off, so that we can actually see the shape as a color. So so what it did, it pulled in, it found in the drawing two shapes, S1 and S2, made them into a group that we just selected and did stuff with it. Notice that the notice comes up. It says finished tracing shapes from overlay cell. It says it found two shapes, and the original picture size of your cell was, and it gives the dimensions, is 1578 by 1218. So we don't have to look at the cell anymore. So I'm going to turn off the cell, and so we just have the two shapes that we made. I can show the put the picture in the background. Take this cell that I've selected here, and I'm going to move it into the first space of this drawing. Now, I'm going to do some. I'm just going to do some other cells here. I'm going to input a cell. Well, I have to show cells first, I guess. And I'm going to input another cell, and we're going to just to get the a couple more of these cells in there, a couple more of these numbers in here. Pix cell. I'm going to grab this one, pull them in. Okay, I'm going to not show the picture, and I'm going to do a trace shapes. Okay, found another set. Show picked. I'm going to take this. I'm going to select them first of all. Well, you can see that it could get confusing. Someone just put some names in here. So I'm going to call the first one, I'm going to call number 1. And I'm going to call the second one. It says that these groups were traced from cell, you'll notice. I'm going to call them, number 2. I'm going to grab number 2, select number 2, and move him to the second slot in here. Okay, I actually want to scale them down a little bit, I think. So click on the scale button and scale this thing down a little bit. Oops. The other way. There we go. Okay, let's grab the first one, do him a scale too, in fact. Oops. Back up a bit. There we go. I could make it easier on myself and just type in some numbers. And we want to get, to finish this picture off, let's go and input another cell. I'll turn off show picked. So I'm input another cell, and that cell is going to be picture 3. Trace the shapes. Trace shapes always takes a little bit of time. We'll call that number 3. Select them. Show the picture. Not show the cell. Don't need it anymore. Show the picture. Move it. Hold down the Shift key and move it. Scale it. This time I think I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to give it a scale factor of, I'm try the scale factor here. See if that works. Yep. Let me move that again. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to put the text in there. So I'm going to go and you'll notice that the cell button down here has now become a text button. So I'm going to click on text, and it allows me to type in text. So the first text I want to type in is Mast Heidi Okay, and the second text I want to type in is on the, and then the last one is high C's. Now the text shows up, the strings of text shows up in groups, and the individual letters show up down here in the shapes. So everything is in this system is shapes. I mean, the text is shapes. The scanned in letters from the cells are shapes, and the shapes we make are shapes. So I'm going to go here and select high C's and move it down. Hold it on Option key and move it down. I'm going to grab the on the, selecting it as a group, and I'll move it down. And I'm going to get to Mask Heidi and move it on down. So we have Masked Heidi on the high C's. I'm going to take the on the and move it a little bit further down. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm doing a scale. So I'm going to reset scale. And I have the Option key. So, well, it looks pretty good the way it is. On the, move it down a little bit here. Now, really want to have like a yellow color here, so I'm just going to do a click on the color to make it yellow. I'm going to do color, click on the color button, and I'm going to click on Masked Heidi, for instance, and I'll color that. And I'm going to go and do the high C's. Click on high C's, color that. And I think I want to choose more of a pink color here for the on the, and select that. Okay, so that's basically the demonstration. So thank you very much.